श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मन मुकुर सुधारी। बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायक फल चारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। राम दूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा बिराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि संभाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहीं श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कबि कौबिद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपत दीन्हा। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मैली मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कांपे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हरे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्ब सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गुसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंधि महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्ध साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। कीजे नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। पवन तने संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान. Now, it's very nice to have everybody over and sit, because the vibrations of the place make a big difference. But even though we are all in our own homes, we can still follow the decorum. There is a slight difference between a class and when somebody takes an asana, right? When the asana is there, we have to maintain a certain decorum, right? I'm sure we know how we enter the puja room. So yes, we should have taken a bath. We should not eat or drink in the middle of the session. If possible, sit where your altar is so that that aura comes to you. Because it's not only words. Words are just a very small part of the entire thing. It has to be felt. Whatever is being said has to be felt, because words have a very limited way of explaining. Can we explain Him, the divine, in these limited words? Probably, I think that is why, as time goes by, many of these sages, they don't talk. They stop talking because it is pretty futile. Words are futile, but then that is the only medium we have, isn't it? So we'll try our best to use it. But to have that aura, and to have that, to actually not only have that aura, to make our mind mentally ready and make our mind receptive. We all know, right, that we are not the body, we are not the mind, we are not our eyes, we are not our hands, we are nothing that we can see, nothing tangible is us. I do not have to extend it by saying that we are not the sofa and the chairs, that we know, right? But this thing called this body is just an instrument that we are using. This is also not us. So to prepare this instrument to be receptive is not easy. Otherwise, our mind is a monkey mind, right? वो इधर उधर भागेगा. And we are all grihasts. Very simple. Is it wrong to be a grihast? Is it inferior to be a grihast? Is a sannyasi more superior? No, that is not the case. But being grihasts, we are engaged in 1,000 other things, isn't it? I'm sure, just like me, you all must have completed a lot of other chores to reach here dot at 10 o'clock, right? And after we finish the session also, a line of chores are there. So scriptures and our dharma does not ask us to leave any of our chores. In fact, by the study of scriptures like Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, we get the energy to do our daily duties to the best of our potential. How does that happen? It happens because the dissipation of energy stops. Isn't it? Notice, we all observe ourselves, right? How many times do we fall asleep immediately when we go to bed? We put our head on the pillow and that's it, gone. Rarely. Unless and until we are extremely tired, and many a times when you're so tired, the sleep comes later than earlier. Because our mind is engaged in so many things. But then, how do we make sure that as soon as we go to bed, we fall asleep? By being in the moment. By utilizing our day to the best of our ability. Right? By fulfilling our duties to the best of our ability, by maintaining a composure, not shouting, not yelling, not losing our temper, when faced with what? Time constraints. Only 24 hours, 2 hands, and so many things to do. So Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran, or any other scripture for that matter, does not only teach us how to reach God. Ultimately, we are all journeying towards God only, whether we like it or not. Whether we are aware of it or not. Whether we are sitting in a session or not. No matter what we are doing, every single day we are journeying towards Him only. By our choice or after being pushed. That's a different story. So yes, they give us a venue where we do think about God, but they make us very productive during our life also. Just imagine, faced with an adverse situation where everything is falling apart and you're able to maintain your calm and composure. Or at least you try and don't yell out. And as you walk, you will realize it happens. Gradually, over the months, over the years, you will see a slowdown in your reactions. It would not be reaction. You would give yourself some time and then you'll act. Who does this? These scriptures. And as we talked about dissipation of energy, aren't we mostly sobbing about what had happened in our past? Don't we hold grievances against the people who were so mean according to our opinion? Because according to them, they might have been very good. But because it did not meet our expectation or demand, we think they were mean to us. So we carry a ghost with us all the time. The ghost is the ghost of the past, don't we? And we sulk and sob and lose so much of our energy thinking about all that. Then about the future. Aren't we always worried about what the future holds? Current times are very uncertain. But life has always been as uncertain as it is today. Nothing has changed. The only thing is now we can see the uncertainty of life. Before, we were oblivious. Ignorance was bliss and we felt that everything was in our control. Which never was, which never is. In today's session, we'll see Brahmaji also feels that way. He feels that Sri Krishna cannot descend without his permission or without his knowledge. And so much can happen without our knowledge, without our consent. We are not in control ever. There is somebody sitting up there who has the total control. We might have the notion of control, but I think it is best to drop that notion also. And what happens? Happens to us in the present. Many a times, I don't know, you must have noticed because it happens with me also. When I'm so excited and agitated that I am unable to focus on the task at hand also. We know this has to be done. This has to be completed. But the agitation is so high that we are not able to complete the task at hand. So not only the past, the future, but the excitement of the present also drains all our energy. And our scriptures help put a tap on the bucket of leaking energies. So if we feel that these scriptures are not implementable in our lives, they are not. Aisa nahi hai. Very much, everything you read here is possible and it is totally possible to implement in our lives. And if we observe, if we are vigilant, we will know the difference it is making. But aisa nahi ki we just read or we listen and the minute the session is over, the minute I close the book, I forget everything. No, the manan has to go on. Entire manan, chintan, and then acting according to what we have learned. So this is the beauty of the scriptures. And then the second element, which is very important, is being grihast, is a choice we all have made. It is said that we choose the situation, the people, right? The environment that we want to be born in. We choose everything. It is said. Now, we do not know for sure, but everything that has come to us is by our consent and choice. The minute we have this thought in our mind, will we be agitated and will we complain? No, because you chose it. When did you choose it? Before you took birth, before you entered the womb. So everything around you is exactly the way it is supposed to be. Why? Because this human birth, firstly, it's very precious. Secondly, it is to learn. It is to overcome our vasanas and vrittis, overcome negative sanskars, become pure and take a higher birth or merge or get mukt. So everything that we have chosen. So we have chosen to be a grihast. So being a grihast, a householder, is conducive to our development. It is not randomly that we have been put over here. No. So everything that is coming to us is teaching us. This is the second thought that we have to hold on to. And why am I emphasizing on the fact that being a grihast is very good? Because many a times we have that heen bhavna. Heen bhavna hoti hai na? That inferiority complex that I am just a householder. I am just a grihast. वो तो सन्यासी हैं. अरे भाई, it is never just a grihast. In our scriptures, from Krishna to Ram, from Vashisht ji to Vishwamitra ji, everybody was a grihast only. And there are 4 ashrams for a reason, isn't it? So every ashram is a journey to the next, to the next, to the next. But that inferiority complex is right if we are not living up to the duties of a householder. What are the duties of a householder? Do you think the duties of a householder are only towards our family, the members in our family? No. The duties of a householder are not only to the members of our family, not only to our immediate kith and kin. No. We as grihasts are responsible for a lot more than we can imagine. We are responsible for the safeguarding of the sannyasis and the vanaprasthis and the brahmacharis, because none of them earn. We are responsible to the protection of the animals and the plant kingdom also. We are responsible for the pitras. We are responsible and we have to do the yagnas so that the devas are intact. We are responsible to, of course, the needy and the poor. So our responsibility and our duties do not only end with the 2 people or the 3 people or the 4 people or maybe 10 people that we are directly related to. The share of our income, the share of our hard work has to be divided amongst all these. So if we think about it, we should feel that the immense responsibility that has been put on the shoulders of a grihast is tremendous. It is beyond the responsibilities of a sannyasi also. Fulfilling all this and attaining moksha or attaining mukti or becoming a devotee of God, isn't it a marvelous task? So never undermine being a grihast. You are not just a householder. You are the householder who has so much on his shoulders. And that is what Bhagavad talks about. We are in the Dasam Skand right now, right? But before that, the 9 skands, the 9 books that we discussed, they were bringing this into our mind. Because unless and until you are receptive, unless and until you feel that you are an adhikari. What is an adhikari? Adhikari is a person who has the right to this knowledge. Unless and until you feel that you have a right to this knowledge, the knowledge won't come. Unless and until you feel I am capable or I am ready for this knowledge, the knowledge won't come in. इधर से आएगी, इधर से निकल जाएगी. तो हमारे को अपने आप में इतना विश्वास होना चाहिए कि हाँ, मैं अधिकारी हूं भागवत का. नहीं तो होता है ना यार, आई एम द पतित पावन हूं, मैं पतित हूं एकदम, आई एम सो. एंड देन ऑल्सो, even if that kind of a feeling is there in us, all the more reason for us to go to the Bhagavad, all the more reason for us to sit in a satsang, to cleanse ourselves. And when we are in the class or when we are in a session, we should not look down or feel that the others who are not in the session are doing something wrong. Their journey might be something else. They might be more evolved than we can ever think. Probably they don't need it, right? Because we are placed in an environment which is needed for us. And Ved Vyas Ji was the author of Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. This was the last Puran that he wrote. And this is the only Puran which is called as the Mahapuran. He wrote it after Mahabharat. Right? Mahabharat is an Itihas. There are 18 Purans. Right? Itihas is history. And Purans are written with a lot of knowledge. And they have examples from history also. So when Ved Vyas Ji was feeling very empty, he felt that he has not done justice. And many people say that he felt that Mahabharata had been misunderstood. Because he was not that direct when he was writing the Mahabharata. Right? So when this thought came to him, and when he was losing all his energy, he was so low, thinking that he had done something wrong, a wrong message had been sent, or the message has been not sent in a way that others could understand. That is when the Bhagavad came to him. The Bhagavad was first heard by Brahmaji, and then it was told to Naradji, and though there were only 4 verses at that time. Now we have 18,000 verses, but at that time only 4 verses, the Chatushloki Bhagavad. We are going to discuss it later. That was told to Ved Vyas Ji. And then he was given the task to expand it so that we all understand it. And this time he made no errors anywhere. He was blunt and to the point. He was like, this is it. Lena hai to lo, nahi lena hai to mat lo. I am not going to sugarcoat anything which is mentioned in the Bhagavad. Nothing has been sugarcoated. At times, this Granth can also intimidate a person. Especially in the previous books when we were reading, it can be a little intimidating because it starts with one single truth, the truth of all our lives. What is that one single truth? That death is inevitable. You, me, everybody that is born will die. And it starts with that only. Raja Parikshit turned to Bhagavad, looked for a sage. Why? When he knew that he had 7 days to live. And that 7 number is because we all have that many days only, and we do not know when will be our 7th day. And that is the moment when he realized that I have only 7 days to live. He looked around, he said, please somebody, tell me something that will liberate me when I am leaving my breath. At that time, may the thought of the Lord be the only thought that is there in my mind, nothing else. Is that easy? It is not. And how did Raja Parikshit just drop everything when he knew that he had only 7 days? How did he drop everything? Because he had done tapasya before that. Instantly थोड़ी होता है कि immediately आपको पता चला 7th day is my last day, I drop the attachments to everything else, every person, everything. नहीं होता. It requires a lifetime of practice. So the Bhagavad teaches us how to die. And to die in that particular manner, how should we live? What should we do? What should we hear? Where should we go? Whom should we talk to? It is a science of life so that we can achieve a death which is conducive for the upliftment of our soul. And Raja Parikshit was an adhikari because he had done a lot of tapasya. The minute he found out, he dropped everything. That very minute, there was no more. All he wanted was to improve his death. And at that time, Shukdev ji, not even Ved Vyas ji came. Ved Vyas ji said, I can't. Agastya Muni turned to all the great sages. Nobody took the asan. But Shukdev ji from somewhere, uncalled for, came, sat down, told Parikshit, Baitho. And he, in the presence of Ved Vyas ji, who was the author of the Granth, narrated the Bhagavad to Raja Parikshit. And now, we have to remember that all our scriptures are a dialogue. I'm really emphasizing on all this because it is needed. They do not want us to take the entire knowledge as it is. बोल दिया तो पत्थर की लकीर है, नहीं. If you have a doubt, question. जितने doubts है, question. Ask. So all our scriptures, be it Mahabharat, be it Ramayana, Ramcharitramanas, Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, are dialogues. This is an entire dialogue between Shukdev ji and Raja Parikshit. Shukdev ji narrates, Raja Parikshit asks. It is not a monologue. Ask, answer. Questions, answers. You don't understand? Ask. There is a doubt? Ask. You disagree? Ask. That is the beauty of Sanatan Dharma. Everybody has a right to question. Nothing has to be taken blindly. Why? Because we all have our own paths. There is not a single path, like one path that everybody has to walk on. Nahi. Jitne log, utne raste to reach that one. And unless and until we ask, unless and until we question, unless and until we think, we would not find our own solo path. No two people walk together. No two people, not even husbands and wives. If a husband and a wife are on the path together, even they would have that, they would be in spirituality together, but they will have their own individual paths. This is a lonesome journey where you have to walk alone. And nobody can show you the path also. Our scriptures, Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran is not here to tell us that this is the way, aise hi chalo. No. They are, what are our scriptures doing? When they talk about creation, they say, why we are mentioning the creation to you? Not for you to get lost in the creation. Nobody knows the beginning and the end of creation. It is not possible. What they want you to understand is that if you get so mesmerized by the creation, just imagine how divine that Lord is. That is why when you start reading, when you start describing the Lord, you'll start with a certain description and then you'll negate everything. Because it's not possible to describe him. If somebody claims he can, then I do not know what to say. But the scriptures don't even claim that they can describe that divine. They are just indicating that this is how great that divine is. And what is this creation that we get so mesmerized by? The Brahma, Vishnus, Maheshas. There are 3 types of Vishnus and we do not know how many of them are universes, as Bhagavad has described earlier, right? They talked about creation, Sarga and Visarga. What are they? Inhale, the creation is, wote na pralaya aa jata hai. Exhale, a new universe is created. Gazillions or millions of universes are there. Our universe is not the only one. We do not even know how many galaxies, how many universes. This one universe, which Brahmaji will also understand, probably, as the Bhagavad says, is one of the weakest universes. Our earth is one of the smallest one. And then if our earth is just a speck, not even a speck, then what are we? What are we? हम कुछ भी नहीं है. And that is why when we sit to listen to the Bhagavad or any scripture for that matter, let's put our ego aside. Let's put our knowledge of whatever has been learned aside. Let's put everything aside. And that is why we chant the Hanuman Chalisa. Because initially it says कि हमारे में कुछ भी नहीं है. ना बुद्धि है, ना बल है, ना कुछ है. बस भगवान के चरण की रज चाहिए ताकि कुछ शायद समझ आ जाए. Because we all are well read, right? We all have read so much. But the more we read, the more we should realize that we know nothing. If it is happening the other way around, then there is something terribly wrong in the path that we are following. जितना पढ़ो उतना लगना चाहिए अरे कुछ भी नहीं पता, कुछ भी नहीं पता. This is the different kind of a study where the more you read, the more you learn, the more you realize that you know nothing. It is not our school studies or our PhD studies which we are conditioned to. कि जितना पढ़ेंगे उतना आएगा. इसमें जितना पढ़ेंगे उतना लगेगा कि समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है, क्योंकि उसको समझा नहीं जा सकता. ठाकुर जी को कौन समझ सकता है भला? जब ब्रह्मा जी नहीं समझ पाए तो हम कौन होते हैं? So whenever we sit, we have to first remove that हीन भावना, inferiority of being a householder. nahi, we are the householders, right? In our scriptures, every other god and sage has been a householder only. With being a householder, this is possible. Realization is possible. We have to remember that the scriptures are not only for Lord, attaining the Lord, they are a way of life. And we have to remember that we have to set aside everything and come as empty as possible. When it's raining and you go with a filled cup, where your cup is full, what will go in? कुछ नहीं जाएगा अंदर ना. जाएगा अंदर नहीं. और अगर आपने उस बर्तन को उल्टा कर दिया, सपोज यू पुट इट अपसाइड डाउन, अंदर कुछ जाएगा? नहीं जाएगा, राइट? द बर्तन हैज टू बी एम्प्टी, राइट? And then it is fit for offering. There was a sage once, and he had gone to get bhiksha. Now many sages, normally they take one bowl and everything is put into that bowl, right? So he went to one household and he said, bhiksha de de ma. And this ma came out with bhiksha. And then she said, I will not give you bhiksha in this. He said, why? He said, your bowl is dirty. So he said, it's all right. You bowl, no. She said, give me your bowl for a minute. She took the bowl, she went in, she cleaned it, right? And then she gave it back to him, and in that she put the bhiksha. So cleaning was an effort, right? That is called sadhana. What is happening? What are the scriptures doing? They are cleansing us. और कुछ नहीं कर रहे. The scriptures, the chanting, the everything, the fasting, the pujas that we do, the aartis that we do, they do not do anything, but they are just the soap that are cleansing the vessel. उसके बाद में जो जाना है वो तो बाद में जाएगा. So all these are just cleaning you, just for cleaning you. So this is a means to the end. We should not make any of them the end in itself. Again, that is very important. So Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran mein, right now we are doing the Krishna Leelas, right? And Krishna Leela mein, the beauty is, when we look at his Leela, when we look at how he is acting, it is very manmohak. It's evergreen. मतलब कितनी बार भी you listen to the Krishna story, it is evergreen, it's ever fresh, it's ever new. Just like the scriptures, they are evergreen, ever new. जितनी बार आप वापस पढ़ोगे उतनी बार आपको कुछ नया पता चलेगा. Why? Because जितनी बार आप उसको पढ़ोगे उतनी बार आप अपने आप को एक लेयर क्लीन कर चुके होगे ना. So once you have cleaned a certain layer, your understanding will become a little deeper. So when you read the Bhagavad again, you'll read from another understanding, and again you'll clean it and read from another understanding, again clean it. Many a times they say कि how many times, when the sages are discussing and talking to each other, they ask each other, how many times have you read the Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran or the Gita? If the other sage replies, अभी तो 5 बार ही पढ़ी है. ओ, अभी तो तुम्हें कुछ समझ ही नहीं आया है. 20 बार पढ़ने के बाद, after 20 times after you have read it, will you start understanding something? सोचो. तो मतलब 5 बार पढ़ना भी कुछ नहीं है, ये तो हमारा पहला बार है. Right? So with this, let's enter. So now where are we? We are in the Dasham Skand. Dasham Skand is Nirodh Leela. What is Nirodh Leela? Nirodh is a Leela where it will teach us to detach from the world and attach to the Lord. Detached from the world and attached to the Lord. We know, right? I'm sure we all know the difference between attachment and love, right? Just because we're detached from the world, that does not mean we stop loving the world. Because there is no two. The world and the Lord are one and the same thing. If we cannot love the second person or the first person who's sitting next to us, we cannot love the Lord. So when they say detached from the world and attached to the Lord, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि I leave everything and my children and all and sit in a jungle. No, कहाँ जाएंगे? As they always say, right? This is a very old joke. There are no forests left anymore. कहाँ जाएंगे? But detaching from the world, that does not mean that we stop loving the world. It only means that we are not attached to the world anymore. And a beautiful example of this is Raja Janak, right? Raja Janak was there हमेशा and he was a Maharishi. सीता को जब तकलीफ हुई तो महाराजा जनक रोए भी थे ना. He would cry. जब सीता की विदाई हो रही थी माँ सीता की, he cried. So क्या they can't cry? Of course they can cry. Of course you can feel emotions. But you do not dwell on your emotions. We dwell on our emotions. आज जो हुआ है ना वो हफ्ते भर बाद भी if we think about it, we'll feel that emotional upheaval or that emotional joy. It is not like, okay, this event happened, emotion was expressed, finished. No, it lingers on. So, over here, when they say Nirodh Leela, it is detached from the world, attached to the Lord, right? See, love is divine. What is love? Love can happen only with the Lord. ये मान के चलिए आप. Love is superior, attachment is inferior. Love and attachment cannot be used as, like, okay, love, attachment cannot be used at the same breath or meaning the same thing. No. You have to be very clear. As of now, we are all attached to everything around us. I am attached to my daughter. I am attached to my son. I don't love my son or my daughter. Love has not yet come. ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है आप पूछोगे ना, right? You'll say, how can you say that love has not yet come? No. Very simple. What is the litmus test over here? The litmus test is very simple. क्या? Suppose your child, because he is born through you, that is why you love him. But suppose this very being, right? Same mannerism, same sanskar, same face, same, behavior, same personality, was somebody else's child. Would you still love him as much? No. You know why? Because it is not yours anymore. So till that is happening, we are all only attached. We have a notion that we love, but we don't. It's hard to accept, but that is the truth. I love my child because he's born through me and because he is mine. Suppose he had been somebody else's child, I would not have loved him enough. So that is attachment. Anything that is related to this body, I am attached to. My house burns, I will feel sad. Same design, same thing. Somebody else's house is burning, I would not feel any emotions. Like when we read the newspaper, isn't it? And when we see, so many deaths. Nowadays, that is a normal thing. Na? How many infected, how many this. We should not read the newspaper, Just live in the moment, leave it. When we can't control it, why bother about it? But any which ways, we do. And that number does not rattle us, does it? It does not. चाहे वो 100 हैं, 50 हैं, कितने हैं, कि कहीं यूके में हो रहे हैं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में हो रहे हैं, इंडिया में कहीं हो रहे हैं, मुझे उससे क्या लेना देना? But that one number, that happens to somebody who's attached to my body, who's somebody who's connected to my body, तब क्या होता है? It is so difficult to overcome that sorrow and agony. But क्यों? This is something that happens every day. Why? Because we are attached. Because we are surrounded by Maya. Because we cannot accept the truth of this creation. Because from the very beginning, we have been told that when this body is no more, आप खत्म. पर ऐसा नहीं है. That soul lives on. I am that, and I am eternal. With or without this body, I exist. It is just a piece of cloth that I have changed. सोचिए. So when we are talking about love, most of the times we do not know what it means. So that is why we always say love is only with the divine. So that means you'll say that, okay, I can love only God. I cannot love anybody else. No, you can love anybody else. You can love everybody. How? When you start seeing the divine in them. Not the body, not the mind, not the child. No. When you see that divine, and this is again related to what we are going to do. This is one of my favorite leelas of Sri Krishna. When he becomes everybody around him. And then the love that the gopis feel is beyond. So the day I can see that divine in that child, mine or not, then it becomes love. Till I can see that divine, it is attachment, it is not love. We'll keep talking about it because attachment is a very big element. So this section, Nirodh Leela, is simply telling you to detach from the world and attach to the Lord. It is not asking you to leave anything. It is just making you see that divine. Eventually, it is supposed to make you feel and see that divine in each and everything, each and every being, each and every insect, living or non-living. Because ultimately, ठाकुर जी हैं और कुछ है नहीं. हम माने तो ठीक, नहीं माने तो ठीक. But that is the truth. And we are all that only. यहाँ पे the beautiful transition that has been happening. In Krishna Leela we know, right? Krishna is born. He is given to Yashoda Ma because Devaki Ma is in the shackles. And then later on what happens? Even in Gokul, a lot of attacks are happening, right? Kans is not leaving Sri Krishna alone. The first attack was when he was just 5 days old, when Putana came, right? Then who came? The other demon that came was Shaktasur. Then Trinavrat. Then who came? After all, when all these happened, the Gokul Vasis got really worried. Right? They said, probably this place is not right for us. होता है ना हमारे साथ में, when we face adversities, what happens to us? Panchang mangao, Janam Patri mangao, the stars are not in my favor, probably the vastu of this house is not good. हम भी करते ही है ना. तो ये गोकुल वाले सी भी बेचारे ऐसे ही थे, सीधे साधे लोग. Krishna is with them, but they said, no, there is something wrong with Gokul only. That is why so much of attack is happening. Right? So, they said that right now we will shift. Just imagine an entire village shifting. Huh? Would we do that for God? Leave everything. ये गोकुलवासी छोड़ सकते थे. हम नहीं छोड़ सकते ना. इसी के लिए कृष्ण उनके पास आए. हमारे पास नहीं आते वो. हम बोलते हैं ना, why doesn't the Lord come? आप में ऐसी भक्ति है क्या कि आप with a drop of a feather सब छोड़ दो उनके लिए? कृष्ण बोले कि ठीक है मैं आता हूं, छोड़ सब कुछ तुम, अभी के अभी. आप छोड़ोगे? सोच के बोलना, बिकॉज ही इज अ वेरी स्टिकी फेलो. आपने बोला हाँ कृष्ण तू आ, मैं सब छोड़ता हूं, तुम नहीं छोड़ोगे तो भी छुटवा देगा वो. सी, we can deceive everybody else. We can put a pretense, we can show a face. It's not the mask that we are wearing nowadays. We all roam around with a mask only. And what happens to us is, eventually we are so used to the mask that we are wearing, we ourselves do not know what our true nature is. हम खुद ही खुद को भूल जाते हैं. Not only have we forgotten that we are that divine, हम सच्चिदानंद स्वरूप है वो तो हम भूल ही गए हैं. राइट? हमारी कंडीशनिंग इतनी स्ट्रांग हो गई कि वी हैव फॉरगॉटन दैट वी आर सच्चिदानंद स्वरूप. इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू टेल यू दैट यू आर सच्चिदानंद स्वरूप. ना, दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. कैसे नहीं है? दैट वी हैव फॉरगॉटन. नॉट ओनली दैट, वी फॉरगेट आवर ट्रू मटीरियल नेचर ऑल्सो, बिकॉज वी आर सो कॉट अप इन आवर प्रिटेंस that we start becoming dishonest to ourselves. So we have to be very honest to ourselves. We don't have to be honest to anybody else in this journey. भागवत एक चीज अगर समझाती है ना, श्रीमद् भागवत से, अगर आपको एक ही चीज सीखनी है तो सत्य, राइट, वन थिंग, सत्य, मनसा वाचा कर्मणा, राइट, माइंड, in your mind, your actions and your words should be aligned to truth. फिर वो नहीं होगा कि हाफ ट्रूथ आप बोल दो किसी को बचाने के लिए, नहीं, ट्रूथ इज द ट्रूथ, लाई इज अ लाई, देयर आर नो ग्रे एरियाज देयर, वेरी क्लियरली सेड. सत्य माना 100% सत्य. अगर और कुछ भी नहीं होता है ना, सो प्रोबेबली व्हाट, बिहाइंड आवर फोन्स वी कैन पुट a chip. We always look at our phones, right? So wherever something, I think that is the thing that we look at the most. So on that we'll write honesty, satya. Because there are 4 doors to moksha. One of them is satya. And if, because फिर है forbearance है, तप है, ये है, जप है, बहुत कुछ है. Satya is the easiest. Or maybe the most difficult, I do not know. But if we follow that, the other doors are going to get opened on their own. You just need to hold on to one. So put that label there, Satya, and then follow it. Be honest in your actions. Be honest. जो मन में है, whatever you're thinking should be on your mouth. Whatever is on your mouth should be the action. ऐसा नहीं कि we are disaligned over there. Once we are disaligned, फिर तो क्या होगा? So let's be honest to the world, right? And the most difficult thing is to be honest to yourself. Yes, it is more difficult than being honest to the world. So aligned outside, aligned inside, honest outside, honest inside. So these Gokul Vasis were very honest in their dealing with God. They were very sure that for Krishna we can leave everything. It does not matter. We will leave all our belongings and we'll shift to Vrindavan because probably this place is not conducive for Shri Krishna. But एक चीज ध्यान रखना. No matter where you are, no matter what the Vastu, it's a science in itself. I'm not declining it. अपनी अपनी आस्था है, अपनी अपनी belief है. But when Shri Krishna, when God is there, can any place be non-conducive or misaligned or कहते हैं ना, क्या कहते हैं, not शुभ? But that was the love they had, not for themselves. They said, we will leave Gokul and shift to Vrindavan. Now go deeper. Now, because we have to think deeper. How are we going to read these scriptures is not by merely listening to the stories. Analyze it. What is Gokul? What is Vrindavan? Gokul mein what kind of attacks happened? Now Vrindavan mein what kind of attacks will happen? Gokul is go. Go is also a name for our indriyas. Right? So if you look at their journey, there are 2 ways to look at it. Gokul, matlab, they moved from the indriya element, right? Because they were victorious. Putna, what is Putna? Putna is pure ignorance. What is Shaktasur? Shaktasur we know, right? Shaktasur is when Krishna was put below the cart, right? And Ma Yashoda had called everybody for the naming ceremony. You know? And she forgot totally about Shri Krishna. That is what we always do, right? We put Lord in a corner. There is one sage, she had once told me, make spirituality the base of your existence and then build your material world around it. तुम कभी गलत नहीं करोगे. Let God be the base of your existence and then build your material world around it. माया पति को पहले अपने पास रखो और फिर उनकी माया. It's all right. It is Lord's Maya, right? It is supposed to be beautiful and enchanting. Even Brahmaji got caught up. We'll see in this session, or probably if we can't finish in the next session, we'll see that Brahmaji, the creator himself, got caught up in the Maya. So hum kaun hai? But suppose that Mayapati, the Lord of Maya, I'm going to keep close to me. And then I'm going to deal with Maya. I'm going to revel in Maya. Koi baat nahi. I'm going to adore and applaud Maya. Kya hai? Sundar hai. Because unhi ki to Maya hai. Right? So ignorance was killed by them. And after that, Shaktasur, they kept the Lord. They learned from that episode that no, you cannot put Lord in a corner. The Lord has to be the center of your existence. When the Lord is the center of your existence, your indriyas, that is your go, all the indriyas will be in control. There will never be overindulgence. The minute we lose sight of the Lord, that is when overindulgence starts, na? Because there is no, lagam hoti hai na, there is no rein. How? You just leave the horses. What are our indriyas? Horses, right? Or monkey, जो भी बोलो, monkey mind बोलते हैं. I'd say the horses. Unless and until you learn how to control the horse. Who does it for Arjun? Who does it for Arjun? Krishna. What is that entire picture that we see कि chariot पे अर्जुन है, सारथी कृष्ण है. अर्जुन तो तर गए. He won all his battles. Even when he had the dilemma, whom did he turn to? Shri Krishna. When he was dejected, whom did he turn to? Shri Krishna. No matter what the situation, who was in control of his chariot? Shri Krishna. We do not give control to the Lord. We want the control to be ours and the Lord in some corner where we visit him morning and evening. नहीं, ऐसे नहीं हो सकता. So when we destroyed the demon Shaktasur, the Gokul Vasis made Lord the center of their existence. And when that happens, what happens? You know that Trinavrat is the tornado that we talk about. I'm sure everybody knows these stories. Every child knows it. So the tornado, what is the tornado? The tornado of desires. इच्छाएं कभी खत्म ही नहीं होती. तृष्णा कभी खत्म ही नहीं होती. होती है क्या कभी खत्म? तृष्णा इज लाइक अ फायर. जितना घी डालोगे उतना वो भभकेगा. राइट? इतना the flame grows. So when you make the Lord the center, and when your desires play havoc, what does the Lord do? He kills that havoc. Trishna. हम तृष्णा नहीं मार सकते. कृष्ण लीला में they are clearly telling us, तुम नहीं कर सकते. You know why? The minute that is why. Do you know who the Gokul Vasis are? They are the great sages, the great tapasvis, the great Hatha yogis, the great Gyanis who were sitting, and when they realized that the Lord is coming, what did they do? They dropped everything and they became the gopis, the gopas, the cows, the monkeys, the trees in Gokul and Vrindavan. Why? Because ये सब करके भी वो कुछ नहीं कर सके. क्यों? वेरी सिंपल एग्जाम्पल. वो मैं आ जाता है ना. आई कंट्रोल्ड एंड हेंस आई हैव बीन विक्टोरियस. आई पुट इन द एफर्ट एंड सो आई डिजर्व वॉट आई एम गेटिंग. डोंट वी टॉक लाइक दिस? माई एफर्ट, आई डिजर्व टू गेट वॉट आई एम गेटिंग. दैट मैं कम्स, एंड जहाँ मैं है वहाँ हरि नहीं, और जहाँ हरि है वहाँ मैं नहीं हो सकता. So the simplest way to actually not get caught in this मैं is by offering and surrendering to him only. कि मेरे से मेरा गुस्सा कंट्रोल नहीं होता. I can't curb my anger. I can't curb my jealousy. I can't curb my desires. ये मेरे बस की नहीं है भाई. Why? You know why आपके बस की नहीं है? सृष्टि कैसे बनी थी? How did the creation happen? आप सोचें. The creation started with desire. That one had the desire to become many. He wanted to be loved. So the essence of this creation is desire. आप जीत लोगे उसे? नहीं जीत सकते. कौन जीत सकता है? जिसने उस डिजायर को बनाया वही जीत सकता है ना. So when these desires were playing havoc, Shri Krishna, तो क्या कहते हैं? What do we do? When we are getting angry, do we try to curb our anger and say, no, we won't get angry? No. If you know that you get angry, develop a practice of chanting the Lord's name. Give that time. Okay, anger, Ram, 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 Hari, 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 Hari. जो भी आपको भगवान अच्छे लगते. Automatically it will be curbed. Start watering the Hari Naam. Start taking the Hari Naam. You won't even realize how easily all the vasanas, all the desires, all the vices will be taken care of. And this is what is happening in Krishna Leela. This is what he is doing. It's not something that we are making up. He's showing it. कि तुम एक बार मेरे तरफ मुड़ के तो देखो, बाकी काम मैं कर लूंगा, तुम्हें कुछ करना ही नहीं है. पर वो मुड़ना इतना मुश्किल क्यों है ना? क्यों है मुश्किल? हमें हमेशा सिखाया गया है, इट इज नॉट रॉन्ग कि खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तदबीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे कि बता तेरी रजा क्या है. राइट? It's a very motivational thing. I grew up saying this to myself कि खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तदबीर से पहले खुदा भगवान बंदे से खुद पूछे कि what do you want? And it took that much more effort to say नहीं, तेरी रजा में मैं राजी. Lord, whatever you want, may that happen. उफ नहीं करेंगे, तेरी रजा में मैं राजी. बुलंद करो अपने आप को, मेहनत करो. Bhagavad does not say कि you do not put in your effort, or Gita does not say that you don't do your karma. No, you have to. But leave the result to him. Because उसकी इच्छा के बिना तो एक पत्ता भी नहीं हिल सकता. Right? Right or wrong? So all these trishnas have been taken care of. All the external disturbance, Putna, Shaktasur, Trinavit, all the external disturbance, ignorance has been dealt with. कि हमें समझ आ गया कि ये सब माया है. This is not real. Real तो कुछ और है. And Lord is in the center. He is fighting the battle. He is destroying all our desires. And then from Gokul, that is the external battle, the Brijvasis are shifting towards the internal battle. It is a greater battle, huh? It is easier to curb desires than to fight the battle within. Then when they move to Vrindavan, what happens? There he kills 3 more demons. They are Vatsasur, Bakasur and Aghasur. Because we've already done it in detail, so I'll just run through it. What is Vatsasur? It's a cow, it's a calf that was mingling with the calves, right? Nobody could make the difference. Ki which one is the Asur and which one is a calf? Because he had disguised himself, that Asur had disguised himself as a calf. What is Bakasur? Bakasur is the crane. Now, we all have seen a crane. How does a crane stand? One leg up in a meditative pose, and suddenly when the fish comes, it's gone. What is Aghasur? It says deceit, right? It has disguised himself as a mountain. And when the children are entering, the Gopas are entering, they know when they are talking to each other, they say, oh, that looks like a mouth of a python. But no, it is a cave. The mountains look like the fangs. No, but they are mountains. That road looks like a tongue. But no, it's a road. कितनी बार हम अपने आप के साथ ऐसा करते हैं? Do you know that little voice within knows? And we also know. But we do not want to accept that we know. That is why it is not unnecessarily said that ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss, bhai. It is better not to know and be blissful. Huh? Isn't it? सोचो, हम मौज में रहे, बस्ती में आग लगे, हमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है? पड़ेगा, आगे पीछे तो पड़ेगा ना. So now, what is this? Now the battle has moved within. We're going to look at another angle also. Now the battle has moved within. Who is fighting? There also Shri Krishna was fighting. गोकुल वासियों ने तो श्री कृष्ण को पकड़ लिया था, भगवान को पकड़ लिया था, right? बाकी तो वो कर रहे हैं ना काम. And over here, what is the battle? Now, what is the internal battle that we all go through? Fun of deceit. We know, but we do not want to know. Aghasur. Bakasur, the pretense कि हम तो भाई सुधर गए हैं, हम तो मतलब we have become shant and calm and all. Really? कब तक? Till that fish comes, na? And then वो शांति कितनी है पता चलेगी, right? Otherwise you're meditative to the world. But then when there is a ruffle and when there is a turmoil, how do you react? Those are the tests. And Vatsasur, that is the most dangerous. What? A calf, it took the form of a calf and mingled with the calves. Many times we do not know the difference between prayers and shreyas, good or bad. See, एक तो होता है prayers, which we like to do. It gives me happiness, we say, right? But all happinesses are momentary. We are not seeking happiness or joy. We are seeking anand. And anand will happen only when we connect. Be very careful. Joy, happiness and that chir anand are not again the same thing. We cannot say खुशी, मुझे खुशी मिलती है, मुझे शांति. नहीं, शांति, शांत तो आप हो. That is your normal state. Anand That is your normal state. And that momentary joys, momentary happiness is not what we are seeking. To prayers and Shreyas is a superior path, where it might not appeal you right now, boring lagega, karna nahi hai probably, but that is the right thing to do. Right? That is the difference. Good and bad mein, what is the confusion? Many a times, the negativity is disguised as positivity and we don't even realize it. For instance, our behavior, for instance, let's not go further. Let's go to ourselves. Our behavior, when an onlooker, a person from outside is looking, he might say, कि ये सही है, ये गलत है. But we won't be able to make out. Many a times we aren't. Because that negativity also for us, it is disguised as something good and we say, नहीं अच्छा ही तो हम कर रहे हैं. And we don't even accept it. We don't even know. That is so dangerous, isn't it? When you know, you can check and correct it. But suppose you don't know. वत्सासुर पता ही नहीं चलेगा तो कैसे करेक्ट करोगे? तब तो श्री कृष्ण चाहिए ना. You need God. So these three demons, so from Gokul to Vrindavan, from Indriyas, the control of Indriyas, which is much more tangible, to the control of the inner state, mind, what is happening here, what is happening here, is more difficult. Now all through, the battle is going on, right? External battle, internal battle. That is one way of looking at the transition from Gokul to Vrindavan. Right? Then the beautiful thing that comes to our mind, probably, I do not know, that came to my mind was Gokul Vasis. They thought that if they change the location, the problem will be resolved. Did that happen? No. Attacks were happening in Gokul, attacks are happening in Vrindavan also. Don't we also always do it? Analyze, because our scriptures are teaching us how to live our life, right? They're not taking us away from the life we are living. What does this tendency come? What do you think when I ask you this question? Anybody can answer. Moving from Gokul to Vrindavan, thinking that it will stop the attacks. What, when this scenario is put, abhi tak we looked at the adhyatmic perspective. Now I'm giving it a little shallow approach. What does it tell you? Can anybody answer? You can unmute and let me know. This scenario, Gokul to Vrindavan, what does it tell you? What comes to your mind when this scenario is put in front of you? Anybody? Moving from Gokul to Vrindavan, assuming that it will solve a problem. Anyone? Purvaja, Kavita, Ashwini, Kasturi, anybody? What comes to your mind?
Running away from the problem.
Beautiful. Exactly. Can you elaborate? What else, exactly how do we do that? It can say that escapist tendencies that we have.
Right.
Yes, don't we always do that? Don't we always try to run away, assuming that, if we change the situation, right? Make a change, we would not have to face our problems. But over here, they're telling us that won't happen. Because there is no change needed outside. We feel that we are getting rattled because what is outside, that is वो सबसे बड़ी गलती है हमारी. We are not getting rattled, we are not getting sad, we are not getting depressed, we are not getting overjoyed also because of what is happening outside. It is all inside of us. So we feel that by changing a situation, by changing the people, by changing a place, like I want to keep the company of the people who make me happy. आपको कोई happy और sad कर सकता है क्या? So you're going to give your power, your locus of control to somebody else? How many times do we give the locus of our control to somebody else? The control of our happiness.
All the time.
All the time. Why? It's dangerous. Just imagine. You control my happiness, you control my sadness. The situation will monitor and determine whether I'm happy or not. And not only this, we say depending on the people, so will be my attitude. क्यों हम लोग क्या गिरगिट हैं क्या? That we'll change the way we behave depending on how the other person behaves with us. Even a thing, that simple thing like sugar does not behave like this. You put it in bitter gourd, you put it in coffee, wherever you put it, it maintains its own tendency of sweetness. Even a Karela does not do this. You put it in anything, it'll make that thing bitter. तो हम क्या है? We are so boneless कि my attitude depends on your attitude. अरे क्यों? आपका कोई अस्तित्व नहीं है. एक बात और है कि we do not know that we are सच्चिदानंद स्वरूप. ठीक है? Even if we do not know we are Satchidanand Swarup, can somebody control the way I react? That is so sad. And Gokul Vasis में इसमें भी यही बता रहे हैं. You migrate from Gokul to Vrindavan. Only what is inside is going to come out. Nothing will change. It is not place, people, thing that needs to be changed. It is you. कहीं भागना नहीं है, कहीं नहीं जाना है ना. होता है ना, वेरी गुड. मेनी पीपल गो टू उपासना. आई रियली वांट टू गो देयर ऑल्सो एंड सिट फॉर 10 days in silence and follow the diet that they are giving. One of my friends went to that place and she said for 10 days it was so beautiful. But the 11th or the 12th day when I came back, it was the same again. Then I told her, क्यों पता है तुझे? तो उसने बोला क्यों? They controlled your diet. है ना, जैसा खाओ अन्न वैसा होगा आपका मन. तो वहां पे आहार सात्विक था. शी सेड यस, बराबर आहार सात्विक था. ठीक है. यू आर नॉट अलाउड टू इंटरैक्ट विथ एनीबडी. यू आर इंटरैक्टिंग विथ द sages or the coaches. That is what I understood. So your companionship is monitored over there. When were you getting up? When were you sleeping? That was monitored, right? What were you hearing was monitored. So basically, all your indriyas, be it your eye, be it your ear, because we eat, we don't only eat from here. We eat from everywhere. We eat from our eyes. पता है सबसे ज़्यादा दोष आँखों का होता है. And कहते हैं ना आँखों का वैराग्य is also very important. What is आँखों का वैराग्य? How does the trishna come in? Through our eyes, right? And then through our ears. When we see, we want. When we hear about something, we want. तो इसका और इसका वैराग्य, is very important. So everything was being monitored for you. You were given an environment where your diet was sattvic, your interactions were sattvic, everything around you was sattvic. You're getting up early before the sun rised. It's very essential, right? It is said in our scriptures to wake up before the sun rises, and when the sun rises, go do namaste so that urja gets into us. वो तो हम करते ही नहीं है. And sleep early. Early to bed, early to rise keeps a man healthy, wealthy and wise is a very normal saying. Khana, again, what do you eat? Anshuddhi honi chahiye. When I am cooking, my vibrations go into your food. Just imagine, monitor this. When you are agitated and you cook, your entire family will be agitated that day. देख लेना, monitor करके देख लेना. And when you are chanting and you're calm and then you're cooking, your entire family will be calm. बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. If you look at these great sages, they don't eat even when somebody is looking at them. They will put a parda, they will put a cover, and then they will eat. Because the drishti also puts negative vibrations. That much of vigilance is needed. We can't do it. कोई बात नहीं. Eventually, समझ आएगा. So now what were we talking about was that because we changed the situation, we were calm. We went into the same, rattling situation. We became agitated. So, क्या हुआ? Where was the change? The change did not happen inside. So, unless and until the change happens inside, बाहर से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. So over here, the Gokul Vasis have moved to Vrindavan. The first wave of looking at it was from the Indriya point of view and moving to the mind and the inner cleansing. The second way of looking at it is escapism. You can't run away. There is no running away anywhere. No escapism possible. Don't give the locus of your control to anybody else but God. Don't keep it to yourself also. उसको रहने दो. You control. वो सही करेंगे. Think about it. And then what happened? इसके बाद में after Aghasur, we'll briefly touch it and go again. We have done it once, but we'll go in depth again because this is the essence of the entire Bhagavad, I feel. When we talk about attachment and detachment, it will get cleared by this very story when Sri Krishna becomes everything else. When Brahma ji was watching all this, उनको लगा कि ये क्या है? Without my knowledge, the Lord cannot come because I am the creator. Right? We say ना कि मेरे knowledge के बिना कुछ हो थोड़ी सकता है. जब ब्रह्मा जी के knowledge के बिना ही बहुत कुछ हो जाता है तो हम कौन है? Right? So he said कि Krishna cannot, no. This is some magician. He is playing some tricks. I am going to see what happens. Because without my permission, even God can't come. Right? And then what he does is, very simply put, you can listen to the last session for more details. He takes away the cows. He takes away the calves. He takes away everything, right, to test Sri Krishna. So while Sri Krishna is looking for the calves, the Gopas are abducted. All done, finished. And now Sri Krishna realizes that Brahmaji wants to play a game with him. Brahmaji is testing him. Don't we always do that? भगवान की कभी परीक्षा नहीं होती. Make a note. Every single day we are testing the Lord. अगर तू है तो मेरे लिए ये कर दे. अगर तू है तो मेरी प्रॉब्लम्स हट जाएंगी. What do you mean अगर तू है? वो तो है ही ना. भगवान की परीक्षा नहीं होती, भगवान की प्रतीक्षा की जाती है. हमारे हाथ में परीक्षा करना नहीं है ठाकुर जी की. What are the 3 things that we have in our hand? First, prayatna. Put in the effort. 100%, 120%. Put in that effort. जान लगा दो अपनी, जो भी आपको चाहिए उसके लिए. पहले तो कुछ चाहिए नहीं होना चाहिए, पर जब तक हम उस स्टेट में नहीं पहुंचे, जो भी आपको चाहिए उसके लिए जान लगाइए आप. And then, प्रार्थना करिए. No matter how much effort you put in, if the grace is not there, it won't culminate, it won't happen. And then after the prarthana, what can you do? Pratiksha kariye, and that is where we all fail. हम परीक्षा करते हैं. प्रतीक्षा तो कोई करना ही नहीं चाहता ना. कोई करना चाहता है प्रतीक्षा? अब प्रतीक्षा भी कितनी? How many? And the simple question, no? One student went to a teacher and he asked, so tell me one thing, in how many years will I be enlightened? The teacher looked at the student and he said, what do you mean? Well, how much will it take? So the teacher said, ठीक है, 12 years. No, that is too much. He said, 24 years. 24 years I don't have. 50 years. What do you mean, how much time will it take? It has taken a long time for us to get this human birth, Tata. It is not an ordinary birth that we have. And by God's grace, we are all blessed. Everything has been given to us in a silver platter or a gold platter. To think about Him, to do the sadhana. This very birth, everything has been put in place. सब कुछ है हमारे पास में ना. अब अगर हमने नहीं करा तो हम कब करेंगे? सोचिए आप. अभी भी if we don't make the Lord our priority, when will we? And ये birth is like कितनी हजार योनियों, लाखों योनियों में भटकने के बाद में we get one human birth. So we, again, not only we cannot say that कि I am a grihasthi, I am just a householder. No, I am the householder. जिसके कंधे पे सबका भार है. And I am the human. After so much of tapasya, after so much of punya, have I got this human birth. I have it in me to cross the ocean of mundane existence. If I have reached so far, I have gotten this human body. I have everything in my favor. What else is needed? अब तो मैं पार कर लूँगा. पर उसमें भी you cannot say कि कब होगा. There is nothing कि when will this, nothing. You don't know. You could take thousands of more births. There was this cobbler. This is the first story I had ever narrated. The cobbler and the sage. And Narad Muni, he always does that, right? Narad Muni always does Brahman. We know he is always chanting and doing Brahman. He is a very naughty character. So he went to the sage. And the sage asked, see, I'm doing so much of tapasya. Right? दिन भर भगवान का नाम लेता हूँ, ग्रंथ पढ़ता हूँ. I know that this birth I am going to be liberated. Tell Lord, ask Lord, I'm sure he's coming. Just let me know when so that I'll be ready, and I'm sure he's coming. He did not even ask. He was ordering the Lord to come basically because of all the tapasya, so-called puja, part, jap, tap he was doing. He knew that he was liberation material. And then Narad Muni crossed and he saw a cobbler. Now the cobbler sat and he saw Narad Muni. अब हमारे को नारद मुनि दिख जाए, सोचिए, पहले तो हम पहचानेंगे नहीं. कहते हैं ना, there is a saying, जौहरी ही जानता है हीरे की कीमत. Not everybody knows. So if that cobbler recognized Narad Muni, so he must be an elevated soul only, na? Because otherwise we'll think he's an ordinary person. Unless and until you have it in you, only when you have, this is again one more very important point. If you have goodness in you, you'll see goodness in other people. If you have hatred in you, you'll see hatred in other people. If you have jealousy in you, you will see every other person to be jealous. Be very careful. जो आप में है, आपको वो दिखता है. So जब आपको किसी में गंदगी दिखे ना, कि लगे he is so bad, that means you are horrible inside. I'm so sorry. Because the world is nothing but a reflection of what you are. So the cobbler recognized Narad Muni. He said, hey, Narad Muni. And he is doing his work. He can't stop his work. He did Danvat. He said, ठाकुर जी कैसे हैं? भगवान कैसे हैं? कैसे हैं? And he said, काश कि मैं कभी भगवान को मिल सकता. कोई बात नहीं. आप तो उनको जाके मेरा प्रणाम कह देना. आप तो मिलते ही होंगे. You must be meeting him every day because you have easy access to the Lord. So he said, ठीक है. So Narad Muni went to Sri Hari. And then he said, there are two people I met today. The sage is asking, when are you coming? And the cobbler has done pranam. Right? And he feels that he'll never be able to meet you. So the Lord says, just go and tell the sage that I'm not coming for him even for another 100 or 1,000 years. And tell the cobbler I'll be meeting him very soon, this very birth. Narad Muni was like, what? अरे वो तो इतना तपस्वी पुरुष है और आप ऐसे कैसे बोल रहे हैं? बोला अच्छा ठीक है. Just tell them. When they ask you, because the sage is going to ask for proof, he won't believe you that you met me. So tell him that I was passing huge elephants through the head of the needle. Okay, Narad Muni said, ठीक है. And say the same thing to the sage. And the same thing to the cobbler. Narad Muni went down. And when he said the same thing, Lord is not coming for you for another 100 or 1,000 years, the sage said, what nonsense. I don't even believe. Okay, now tell me, what was the Lord doing when you went and met him? I think you are a hypocrite. I think you are not, you are, kya kehte usko? You have taken an appearance and you're not even Narad Muni. So he said he was passing huge mammoths through the needlehead. Oh, nonsense. The sage took a slipper and started hitting Narad Muni ran away. And this time when he went to the cobbler, because there were so many slippers around him, he said the same treatment will be given. So he stood at the distance and he said, the Lord, so Narad Muni, aap aa gaye? Haan, great. So he said, ki the Lord is Narad Muni was scared. He said, do you want to know what the Lord was doing? He said, yes, if you want to tell me, tell me. He said he was passing mammoths through the needlehead. And he said, how great the Lord is. Narad Muni said, you believe me? He said, of course. When he can fit in this huge tree in a small date seed, what is it that he cannot do? Anything is possible for him. Vishwas. And Narad Muni understood. He fell at the feet of this cobbler, Narad Muni. He said, the Lord is going to come for you very soon. You'll cross the ocean of mundane existence this very birth. Vishwas. Without pariksha. He was ready to do pratiksha. The same story goes. When will the Lord come? And he says, when the leaves of this tree fall off to another person, then the Lord will come to fetch you. So there were two people sitting. One said, Arey, this is an evergreen tree. I do not even know when all the leaves will fall off, right? So what is the point of slogging so much, doing so much of tap, jap, niyam, discipline, controlling my food, reading the scriptures, minding my behavior? Let's enjoy life. So one person got up and ran. Because there's no guarantee, right? ये पता नहीं कब सारे पत्ते, कितने हजारों पत्ते हैं. And the other person said, Narad Muni, this is enough. वो आएंगे ना, I'll continue. Because you are giving me a guarantee that he'll come. When he'll come is not important. वो आएंगे and वो आते हैं. पर आप में पेशेंस है क्या प्रतीक्षा करने की? सो प्रभु की परीक्षा नहीं होती. And that is what Brahma ji wanted to do. He wanted to test the Lord. He wanted to test the Lord. And what followed, we will be covering in the next session. So, भगवान के लिए क्या करना है हमें? हमें प्रार्थना करनी है, प्रयत्न करना है और फिर प्रतीक्षा करनी है. प्रयत्न कैसे होता है? ठाकुर जी की प्राप्ति के लिए सी to give a GMAT or to get into an IIMs, we slog it out, isn't it? So, for spirituality, we don't have to be focused. To get into a mere college, we tell our children or tell ourselves we must have all gone through it. We have to drop everything. But for spirituality, you think it's not needed. That kind of focus is not needed. ये तो ऐसे ही है, एवे हैं, पहुंच जाएंगे हम भगवान के पास. नहीं होता. Focus चाहिए. If you're a true seeker, you have to behave like that. You cannot be a part-time seeker. And to be a full-time seeker, you do not have to leave anything. You'll be a better mom, a better bahu, a better wife when you become a full-time seeker. Because a full-time seeker always tries to see the divine in each and everyone and each and everything. And if you want to implement the same thing in the activities you do, if you want to tell your children, bete, prayatna karo, put in your 100% effort. Prarthana karo. And then wait. Our children or us, we get depressed, dejected, and we read the news about what happens. Because we don't teach them how to wait. Everything has become instant right now, isn't it? You put in the effort, instant result. And if that does not happen, unfortunately, what the children do is beyond words. Why? Because we don't teach them how to be patient. Wait. And how much to wait? As long as it takes. So, the path of spirituality and the material path, the rules for both of them are not different. You can take whatever you want and implement it the way you want. प्रयत्न इसमें भी करना है, प्रयत्न उसमें भी करना है. प्रार्थना इसमें भी करनी है, प्रार्थना उसमें भी करनी है. प्रतीक्षा इसमें भी करनी है. और प्रतीक्षा तो आपको जिंदगी में कुछ भी अचीव करना है तो आपको प्रतीक्षा तो करनी पड़ेगी. As long as it takes. पर ब्रह्मा जी ने क्या करा? प्रतीक्षा नहीं की, प्रार्थना नहीं की, प्रयत्न नहीं किया, ठाकुर जी की परीक्षा की. और फिर जो हुआ वो हम देखेंगे. Anything, any feedback, any thought, any questions? I'm opening the session. Please let me know.
I want to share something.
जी कस्तूरी.
Like Hari Om Barkhaji, sorry.
हरि ओम कस्तूरी जी.
So some time back I was watching this movie Hachiko karke. I don't know if
Okay.
you watched it.
No, I haven't. Tell us about it.
It's a beautiful movie about a pup
Uh-huh.
who waits for his master. His master dies. I mean, he's very attached. Like he rescues him, and like how all pups get attached to their masters, like you know.
Right.
So this pup also gets attached a lot, but unfortunately the master passes away, and in his studio, he's some musician or something, and he never comes home.
Oh.
This pup waits all his life. He becomes old. You know, even he goes to the railway station every day to receive him and to drop him.
Huh.
So he is in that railway station all his life in rags, no food, becomes so old, is not able. But the belief that one day the master will get down from the train and come, till his last breath, he never believed that my master will not come.
Wow.
He never left the station. He just stayed there and he died there. And I think he believed his master will come one day.
How
And
beautiful.
I think we are so low than that path that we don't believe, even though, so much is told in Bhagavatam, so many ways, so many saints are making us understand, wait, there is
Wait.
master, there is our,
Lord.
divine who will come. But we don't have the patience to wait. We don't have the belief, the faith that he will come.
See,
So
very true.
I somewhere feel like relating that.
Totally
the
it does.
could believe.
But we can't.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you know what? You're right, because I will also watch this movie for sure. And many a times we call our tendency to be animal tendencies, na? We should not say that anymore. Because many a times what these animals are far better than what we are.
True.
Any day. We can learn from the bird. She will not do sangre, huh? Every day. Next. From the pup, loyalty, love, selfless love. कितना कुछ हम इन लोगों से सीख सकते हैं. So our tendencies, that's why I feel it is derogatory to them to call our tendencies animal tendencies.
As an animal tendencies.
Because in today's Kalyug, they are far better than us. Just because we have the human body does not make us human. It says na, manor bhav. मनुष्य तो मनुष्य बन जा. मनुष्य के शरीर होने से कोई मनुष्य नहीं होता. This entire journey is to become human. So beautiful. Thank you, Kasturi. A very deep message. Anybody else would like to share anything? Any takeaway? Any questions? Nothing? Shall we then close the session? Right? We'll continue with this story of Brahmaji. That is, we are currently Bhagavad Dasham Skand. I just want to show you the main text because we are following the main text. It is not an interpretation or anything. This is the main Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. It is said that when Sri Krishna was leaving, he said, I will be with you in the form of Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. So this Granth gets the respect of Sri Krishna himself, Sri Hari himself. So we are in Dasham Skand. Currently, we revisited a few chapters in the Dasham Skand to get a deeper understanding because it's never enough. Kitna hi hum revisit kar le, we cannot go to the depth of it. But just to get a gist of how to understand and how to analyze these scriptures, currently we are in chapter 12 and chapter 13 of Dasham Skand. And we will continue with these two chapters in the next session also before we move on to the Dhenukasur Vadh. So we'll do the Brahmaji's Leela and what Brahmaji learned and Brahmaji's beautiful stuti in the next session. So please close your eyes, calm yourself down. Pray to God that He helps us retain whatever we have heard. Even if we are able to implement one message from the Bhagavatam, will be sorted this week. May the knowledge not leave us. May the Lord be always in control. Not me, the Lord. I surrender unto you. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva He Nath Narayan Vasudeva He Nath Narayan Vasudeva Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। जय बोलो हनुमान की। जय बोलो हनुमान की। बोलो बजरंग बली की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान।